Hello and welcome again to Pacati TV. My name's Jonty Mark. I'm the football editor for the Citizen newspaper and Pacati. And today we're going to be discussing the weekend's action in English football. On Sunday you had two massive games. Obviously you had Manchester United playing Liverpool in the English Premier League at Old Trafford, and then the Carabao Cup final between Chelsea and Manchester City. Both games finishing in goalless draws, and in the case of the Carabao Cup final, City winning on penalties. Starting with the United-Liverpool game, on paper a 0-0 draw for Liverpool is a pretty good result at Old Trafford, especially given the form that Man United are in, and yet it felt like a bit of a disappointing result for Liverpool, even though they're a point clear at the top of the league. Manchester United resembled something of a hospital room during the game and before the game, with obviously Martial and Matic injured before the game. Then during the game you had Mata hobbling off, you had Lingard coming on and hobbling off, and you had Rashford basically walking around looking injured for the whole game as well. So I think given that, Liverpool really should have capitalised and perhaps could have done more to win the game. Their attacking three has been a bit disappointing of late. Perhaps Salah is the exception there, as he's the Premier League's top scorer, but certainly Mane has had his off days. Firmino also this season. They haven't quite fired. They were so good last season that it's a high bar, but they haven't quite fired as much. Ironically, it's been the Liverpool defence that's been so impressive, with Virgil van Dijk in such stunning form and Andy Robertson. It's another clean sheet for them, and obviously the goalkeeper Alisson also has been pretty good. He didn't have much to do on Sunday, Alisson. Manchester United not really creating too much. They had a small chance for Smalling at the end, but they couldn't quite put that away. Just the cross from Lukaku just evaded Smalling. So for United, I think they'll be happy enough with a point. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer continuing his improvement with the team. And especially given their spate of injuries, I think they can be fairly happy with a draw at home to Liverpool. Moving to Sunday's Carabao Cup final, you had Chelsea going up against Manchester City. It was a hugely improved performance from Chelsea on the 6-0 hammering they got from City in the EPL a couple of weeks earlier. City have of course completed the first part of a quadruple this weekend when they beat, or a potential quadruple rather, when they beat Chelsea on penalties in the Carabao Cup final, a match rather lacking in drama until really the last couple of minutes of extra time, when bizarrely the Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga refused to come off the field even though he was substituted by Maurizio Sarri. The substitution board even went up. Willy Caballero was supposed to be coming on, and then Arrizabalaga simply refused to come off, much to the dismay of his coach, who almost walked off out of the stadium. They tried to sort of explain it away afterwards and say that it was a misunderstanding of sorts, but Arrizabalaga has been fined a week's wages by Chelsea, and hopefully now the matter can be put to bed. It's all a bit chaotic at Chelsea though. And it took a bit away from the fact that Chelsea played much better than they did when they were hammered 6-0 by City. They might have even had a chance to win it if the linesman hadn't been a bit too hasty with his flag, with a couple of minutes left of normal time, when Hazard burst away onto a lovely pass from Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but the linesman put his flag up, which was a bit bizarre considering if it's tight like that, there is VAR and you can always go back to that and decide. So it would have been far better if the linesman simply let the play go, and then they could have checked for offside after Hazard had scored, if he'd scored. And then in the penalties, Jorginho and David Luiz missed penalties for Chelsea. Leroy Sané, Arrizabalaga did manage to save Leroy Sané's penalty, but also let a Aguero penalty squirm under his body, and didn't really cover himself in glory. If you're going to behave like that, refusing to come off, you really then need to be the penalty shootout hero, and unfortunately he wasn't. For Chelsea, it's a shame that Arrizabalaga saga rather overshadowed the fact that they put up a much improved display. Obviously they've got a big game now against Tottenham tomorrow evening. That's going to be one that they probably need to win, or at least play well in again, because every time they play it now it seems like Sarri's job is on the line. And the only other game I want to touch on this weekend is Tottenham. Obviously they were possibly in the title race. They always seem to be a side that's more putting pressure on other teams than actually realistically in it. I think they should really have won it when Leicester won it, but that was a few seasons ago. They lost to Burnley away, a bad result for them, and they were on such a good run. They'd just beaten Dortmund 3-0 at home in the Champions League. but they slipped up, and it's hard to see now Tottenham challenging for the title. I think it's between City and Liverpool. Harry Kane did come back and get a goal, but his return to the side will be important for the next few months. And Dele Alli will be back soon as well, I'm sure. But Burnley were good value for their win, and Tottenham were a bit disappointing on the day. And it seems to be a thing with them. But they are certainly punching above their weight with the resources they have. But you do feel they need to stick a trophy in the cabinet to really validate all the achievements that Maurizio Pochettino has made. So that's pretty much a wrap on the big games from last weekend, and we'll see you next time on Pacati TV.